Do you know negative thinking is much easier than positive? Are you familiar with the habit of human beings that negative thoughts comes in their mind without their consciousness? However, in order to think positive, you need to apply your mind or conscious mind. And that is why you need to learn how to think positively consciously, because negative things, no matter how much you try, those things, negative thoughts gets filtered into your mind, and it affects you and it stops you from growing in your life. And that is the dark side of the negative thinking. It comes by automatically. However, to think positively, you need to put efforts, you need to do it consciously and put efforts to think positively. And that is why most of successful people advise that in order to succeed in your life, you need to learn the skill of positive thinking. In Think and Grow Rich book, Napoleon Hill tells that every human being should adopt an auto suggestion to their subconscious mind, and that is where it is so important, my friends. Now, the good thing about the peoples who have grown up in positive environment, in rich surroundings, it's possible that they are able to think positively. However, those peoples who have been born up, who has been born and brought up in negative and poor surrounding, for those peoples, thinking positive is very difficult, and that is why the surrounding puts so much negative impact on the people and their thinking. Consequently and virtually and ultimately, this affects in their success. If our thoughts are positive, that's great. We are bound to get success. But if our thoughts are negative, if everything starts with thought, if our thoughts are negative, we'll get negative feelings. And if you are getting negative feelings, obviously you will get the negative emotions. And with negative emotions, all our actions will not be appropriate. We'll take negative actions, and as a result of negative actions, we are not going to get much success, happiness, and success in our life. That's as simple as that. In one of the quote by Napoleon Hill, I learned from some book that says that if you think you're going to be success, you will be success. If you think you can't, you will never be. That means either way, it's your hand. It takes is your thinking. If you think in positive terms, you will get success. If you think in negative terms, you definitely sabotage all the paths of success. So this way we stops getting success in our life by negative thinking. If you are afraid of meeting other peoples, that means you will not be successful in making new friends and building a good relationship even with your family members. And that is why having get rid of these fears is so important. So let's talk about 10 negative thinking errors. Here is the list of 10 most made error, that is common thinking error. So if we can learn somewhat from these 10 mistakes that we make very commonly and happens on a daily basis, very casually we make these thinking errors. So one by one, let's move on. The one biggest thing is that we generalize when we think about something. Like we always say the that person means I always get difficulties. This is the word that most of the people think in very common. This we call all or nothing thinkers often. Have you heard people saying that I always or I never? For example, I always get these difficulties. This is the word that most of the people use. Now, this is always means they never get succeed, and other people says that I never get a favor from my wife or my spouse or my children. Is it true? Is it? This is not the accurate thinking, right? It is sometimes that your kids don't support you, don't listen you. Doesn't mean they never listen you. But when we talk to third person, we always come out with such words that my kids never listen to me, my boss never favor to me, and my friends and my colleagues never come and say good things to me, right? These are the common things we made. So these are the extreme condition where we generalize normal things. So avoid using these words. It's nothing like never and nothing like always. Things are mixed, life is ups and down, it always keeps on happening, right? The other thinking error is that the mental filter is the situation where people ignore all good things, and if something bad happens, some bad events happen in their life, they forget all 10 good events. For example, on a particular day, there are 10 activities that you did. Out of those 10 activities, you did outstanding in 9 activities, and you did average or you made a mistake in 10th activity. But if you are having the negative filter, you will consistently keep repeating the 10 thing which has been happened uh, a little bit means little bit little bit with less results or less accuracy. This is the problem, that we should never ignore the good things in our life. So never think about the negative things. Yes, you recognize negative things like SWOT analysis. You always focus on your strength and don't focus on your negative or your weaknesses. That is another way, is that you always focus what you want in your life and don't focus what you don't want. But we do reverse. Most of us do really focus on what things we don't want in our life, and very rare focus on the things we want in our life. This is the mistake we made. Another equal common thinking error is that very often we do some good work, but we don't reward ourselves. We never talk about the good stuff we do on our daily life. How and we spend our time talking about the average stuffs we did. In fact, we should do reverse. The good thing you do or your friend do or any member in your family do, you should immediately recognize that, appreciate that, and compliment that. In fact, I would go a step ahead and say, even if you do some good things, you reward, pat yourself. And that is the one important thing to boost your self motivation, my dear friends. Another common thinking error is that people immediately jumps to the conclusion, and this happens more than often we listen to someone comes to you and he starts talking about some problem in his life, and we are so eager to give them a solution or reach to a conclusion. We don't even take time to listen that person, and we make the wrong assumptions, we give wrong guidance or wrong opinion, and because of that, that person who came to you and for a solution, you end up giving them a wrong solution, right? So never make this error. Just listen carefully to the person and then only give your opinion based on the accurate thinking, not the opinion and assumptions, right? And one of the worst thinking error is that most of the peoples, they have pre-decided framework and a path of achieving certain thing or doing certain things. They don't have the flexibility in what they do and what they accept, and that is why they remain constantly under stress. However, there is a technique, there is a skills. This is the skills that people should be flexible. People should focus on the end results and not the path. Ultimately results matter, and that is why under the given situations, people should be willing to accept and be flexible, and they should be adapt to the situations. And that is why, so people should never be, it should be like that. This is the statement of the people who are very rigid to the certain, and they are very very strong and very clinched to their written rules. This is not going to work in today's world, because world is growing and changing so drastically that fixed rule cannot work any longer. Another common thinking error is that people put label on themselves or some other people's. Like, normally, some, have you heard people saying that he is a complainer, he is a liar, right? And always said to themselves, certain people say that I am a failure, I am a weak person. And when you say these words to yourself, these are thinking error which creates a big problem in your success. Unconsciously you are creating problem for yourself. You are teaching, you are training your subconscious mind to accept these negative things, and your subconscious mind, when accept these things, start acting on them and gives you the negative results. For example, you think you are weak person, what your subconscious mind will do, it says that yes, it follows your order, because when you constantly repeat these words, it accepted by subconscious mind, because subconscious mind don't have any other way. It has to accept what you tell and what you repeatedly give the instruction to it. Now there are people who constantly blame themselves for the wrong thing that has happened. It is very dangerous thing, terrible things that people do with themselves. So common thinking error is that these people always take responsibility, blame themselves for the wrong things. They never realize that we are human beings and not the machines. The errors, the problems, the failures, the mistakes are made by human beings and are corrected by human being only. It is the part of life. So never think and never blame yourself. In fact, never complain, and if you complain sometime, don't keep complaining on yourself. Think accurately, think very practically. The world has changed. Now you don't have to give your mind and continuous instructions that you are a failure. If you keep on doing this, it is drastically going to affect the way you think towards life, the way you see the success and the growth path in your life. So friends, these are the 8 9 common thinking errors that I wanted to discuss you in this video. So maybe tomorrow we'll discuss on another topic, but if you got a little bit idea, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. Also try to share this with as many people as possible. I know I'm not perfect, and I'm even trying to put these information, these valuable informations on this channel, so that even if few people can watch them and understand a few of these principles and they get benefited, then my purpose is done. That's it. So see you in next video. Thank you.